Hey YouTube, Untamed here. So today I figured I'd just take a few minutes and talk through the Prinsu roof rack that I put on the Land Cruiser here. So for those of you who are new to the channel, this is a 2021 Toyota Land Cruiser Heritage Edition in magnetic gray metallic. Minimal additions made at this point really, aside from the roof rack. Just did the Bud built rock sliders and the KO2 tires. Aside from that, and window tint. So aside from that, it is stock. But I wanted to focus specifically on the roof rack. You guys know I did end up putting on that Go Rhino SRM 600 roof rack just to kind of share what that looked like and really just kind of showcase the ease of installation for it. This Prinsu rack was always going to be the quote-unquote end game. So you guys know that I purchased the iKamper Skycamp 2.0. Let me just show you that real quick. Forerunner feature. It's right here. It's ready to go, ready to install at this point. So this is the iKamper Skycamp rooftop tent. So this was not going to work on the Go Rhino, of course, right? Just given the given the design of it, I mean, it just wasn't going to work on that roof rack. Whereas this, the Prinsu, this works perfectly for that. So super excited to get this on. Hopefully, get it on in time without losing too much more of the good camping days, if you will, good camping weekends with the kiddos. So super excited to get this on and to share it with you guys and just show you what it's like to go camping, be a weekend warrior, if you will. So that's going on shortly, but I just wanted to focus on this and just kind of show you what it looked like and talk through the ease of installation. I think altogether, with everything, so I mean, actually assembling the rack itself did not take long. So I would argue for putting all the rack components and pieces on, probably took about an hour and 15 minutes, actually puzzling it together. Sorry, it's been raining a ton, so you're getting some runoff. Maybe an hour and 15 minutes for the entire rack to put it together, assembling each of these crossbars, right? As well as, of course, the front wind fairing on it. So I'm trying to show you there. So pretty cool design. This is the weather strip, if you will, that reduces wind noise for you. I actually didn't drive it without this on, so I don't know what the before was or if it was that much better. It is absolutely less loud than the Yakima Mega Warrior roof basket that comes on the Heritage Edition here normally from factory. So this is not as loud as that, and I mean, quite frankly, it looks a ton cooler too. But yeah, I didn't just get it for the looks, I promise. As you saw, throwing on the iKamper, so I'm definitely excited for that. Of course, by doing that, it does hinder my ability to ever get into a parking garage, to park in my own garage, or any kind of low overhang is no longer an option. But that honestly isn't much of an issue, because where I do park at work or on my way to work, I no longer need a parking garage or anything like that. So at least for the foreseeable future, that's not going to be an issue for us with this. Not to mention, when I'm not using the rooftop tent, I could potentially just, similar to what I have in there, store it in the garage and even tuck it in a corner a little bit better than that. But yeah, so really just want to show this video to you. I think altogether, if I recall correctly, forgive me, I should have checked it before doing this video, but I think it was right around $850. I think that's about how much it cost. I'm not sure if that included the weather strip or not. But yeah, so not too expensive. Of course, you get people who are very passionate about their particular roof rack that they purchase. So you're going to find people who will dog this, of course. They'll find something that's not good with it. A lot of people really like the front runner rack. And there's a few other options out there, right, that people have grown to love and appreciate. But this, I think it looks the best, most streamlined look. This side profile, the side look of it, I think is pretty sleek. There's a couple others out there that just kind of they like come out a little bit. I think that just looks a little wonky, in my opinion. This is just subtle enough, in my opinion. And honestly, probably in the opinion of a lot of people, given how popular this is. So a very sturdy, very strong rack, of course. Definitely a great option for something like a rooftop tent, like the iKamper. Let me show you. We'll pop this. If it's unlocked, yeah. So that's where you're at, with the full opening of the rear hatch here. So pretty close, but still maybe 2.5 inches, 3 inches there in the gap. The hardest part of the entire install was, I'll try to show you. The hardest part was filling, I shouldn't say it like that, but the most tedious piece of it was making sure that A, you didn't accidentally break or misplace the 2 entry points, the 2 holes. So when you're drilling in these bolts right there, I'll try to maybe show you one over here. So when you're drilling in each of these 2 bolts per mount, like right there, there is a single piece underneath it, the receiving ends, if you will. They're connected to one another underneath the 2 holes. So underneath the actual body of the vehicle, the line here, you got one single component that has 2 open holes at the end of it. So if you mess up one side of it or twist it internally, it kind of jacks it up and it turns into a little bit more of a process trying to get it lined up perfectly. So that's kind of the most tedious piece of it. Yeah, in conjunction of, in addition to filling the surrounding holes, filling the hole and the surrounding holes with adhesive of some sort. So some sort of sealant, rather, excuse me, a sealant to make sure that you're not going to get the water leaks. Because one of the most daunting things about installing a roof rack is trying to prevent any kind of leakage, right? So when it's been pouring rain, as you can see, you got runoff from the Loctite from within here, so you get a little bit of that and you clean it up. But if you have any sort of gap at all, it's not going to give you a good look. Any kind of leak at all, it's going to get into your cabin, and before you know it, you're going to start noticing moisture building up in your headliner and on various points, depending on which one of the holes that you didn't fully seal up. So that's the most daunting piece of the entire equation, is making sure that you got that perfect. And even when you feel like you got it perfect, if you're like me anyway, you still you have that level of maybe still a little bit of doubt, and you still worry a little bit if you're like me. So I purposely overdid the sealant piece of it. I doubled up on it just to make sure that there was going to be no possibility of leaking. And if you live out here in Maryland, Virginia area, it's been storming a lot lately within these last couple of weeks. And fortunately, after the first few rainstorms, I've gone in here and checked, felt around on all the headliner within there. And fortunately, everything is held up pretty well at this point. So very fortunate that it all kind of came together. As you guys see, I did end up removing the visor strip from the Land Cruiser here. I still need to clean the interior of the windows. I need to do that, but just been a little busy with work. But at any rate, I wanted to showcase this to you guys. Let me know what you think. Of course, I'm definitely excited to get that roof rack, or get the rooftop tent installed onto it. I think it's going to look amazing. Not to mention, I really hope we can get some good use out of it, especially before mid-fall and winter comes around. I know my daughter is very excited to go on some adventures with it. And you guys know me at this point. I'm not a crazy off-roader or adventurer just yet, but even if it's running to the beach out here and trying to do an overnight stay on the beach, I think that sounds awesome. So my daughter's stoked for that. One thing that I might get a little bit of flack on, but for this iKamper, as you saw, it's a black gloss paint finish on the fiberglass on the shell, right? The shell is a glossy black. I am going to linex it. So for a couple of reasons. but we'll talk about that in a further video. So I already got an appointment scheduled to get that linexed, but excited to see how that will turn out, and of course maybe improve the overall durability of the shell. So much more to follow. Just wanted to share this with you guys. Let me know what you think. Appreciate you watching as always. Until next time.